All right, everyone. Last week, we did a special piece on the great Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard 38-year anniversary. So now, this week, coming up on Tuesday, the 15th of April, will be the 40th year anniversary of Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. Some people say maybe the best first round ever or the greatest 9 minutes in boxing history. Just want to get your take on these two great fighters on the anniversary.
Hagler Hearns 40th anniversary. Wow. Okay. Here it is. First of all, what you have? You had two warriors, right? You had two explosive guys, but two different guys. You had the Hitman, right? Yeah, the Motor City Hitman, Tommy Hearns. You know, the gunslinger, the power in the right hand, tall, lanky, wiry. You know, those are the guys that get leverage in their punches. Then on the other side, you had the naturally bigger guy, the guy who had been middleweight champion. You know, Hearns started him off as a freak, physically a welterweight that was 6'2", and again, could punch like a light heavyweight. But now he had moved up to middleweight. Again, you had Hagler, the natural middleweight. But Hagler, a whole different kind of style, a whole different kind of purpose to him. His purpose was always to seek and destroy. You know, he was angry. There was something great about him, but something also angry about him, that he never got his just deserves, he thought. You know, he never felt like he got everything that was that the Hearns and the Leonards and the guys on TV and, you know, the superstar type guys, the golden boy type guy, that they were getting, the money and adulation, everything else. And meanwhile, this is a guy, he's going to Philadelphia to fight all the tough guys in their home area, in their hometown, because some of the best middleweights around during those times were from Philly. So what does Hagler do? He says, let me go to Philly. No, you don't have to go there. You don't have to deal with those guys. Now, did you say they were the best middleweights? So, yeah, I got to go there. Come on. Book the ticket. I got to go there. I got to fight those guys because that's how I'm going to get to where I want to get. Because that is my journey. That is what I do. I go down a road that is full of rocks, a road that's not paved. The Hearns and the Leonards, they're great, but they went down paved roads. I don't go down paved roads. I go down roads where you get blisters, where you get holes in your shoes. I go down those roads. I've been down those roads my whole damn life, my whole career. And now you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave this guy who's had paved roads all his life. I'm going to leave him on the side of the road. And for Teddy Atlas, that's what I saw. I loved Hagler. I loved them both. But that's what this fight meant to Hagler. That's what it meant to him. And that's how he fought it. We thought that Hearns was going to fight with his range on the outside, keep range, box a little bit like he did with Sugar Ray Leonard when he had to, you know, box, use the ring a little bit. After he had gotten hurt, of course, with Leonard, until Leonard finally caught up to him in the 13th round. We thought that he was going to, again, use his reach, catch Hagler coming in, keep separation, use that long jab that was so long, to make it hard for the Marvelous One to get into the area, the geography he wanted to get into. In close, where he could do his body work. He could chop the tree down. We thought that's what it was going to be. But no. Tommy Hearns understood. He understood what the guy was. He understood this guy is coming. I could pretend that I could go out there in my head and say, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to box. I'm going to stay on the outside. I'm going to keep range. I'm going to use the... There's no way I can do that all night with this freaking guy. No. This guy that's like the snatcher of souls. There's no way No. There's only one way. He made up his mind. I have to hurt him. I have to hurt him because he came here to hurt me. I have to hurt him before he winds up getting to me. And sure enough, maybe he caught Hagler by surprise, but Hagler starts coming forward like he always does. And what does Hearns do? He sets his feet, bang! He throws one of those unbelievable right hands with all that power, and he catches Hearns. And you know the uppercut is there because Hearns is shorter. Hearns is leaning a little bit. You know the uppercut is there. You know the straight right hand is there when he's coming in, and he lands it. The same punch that knocked out just about everybody else when he landed it. And Hagler got stumbled a little bit. There was a little shake in the ground. There was. If you were there, you almost felt it. Even on TV, you felt it. That there was a little vibration. Whoa. Wait, did I feel that? Did the earth move? Just for a split second? Did Hagler move? Did Marvin Hagler, the man with the steel chin, the man who goes down these broken roads with blood coming out of his feet, did he shake a little bit? He did, but he wouldn't let you know it. Not Marvin Hagler, because he said, okay, this is the way it's going to be. Good. Because he knew right then, there's no way this guy can beat me in my fight. This is my fight. This is my life. This is what I've been in my whole freaking life. There's no way he's winning this kind of fight. And he came right back with his and landed. And then Hearns came right back with his and landed again. And then Hagler came back with his and was back and forth. It might have been the greatest one round in the history of the sport. And that's a hell of a statement. It was that fascinating. Not just that good, that fascinating, that historic, that awesome, that brutal. And then by the end of the round, by this round that was just two men testing each other, saying, can you take this? Yeah. Well, can you take that? Yeah. But can you take this? Yeah. Can you take that? Yeah. Are you willing to continue taking that? Because you know what? Me, Marvin Hagler, I am here till I die. We always hear that saying, I'm going out on my shield. You're going to have to kill me. We hear it. We've heard it before, but we don't always believe it. We believed it. When Marvin Hagler said it, we believed it because we felt the earth shake. We felt those vibrations. And he was still there. We believed it. We saw it. We felt it. By the end of the round, the fight was over. Yeah, there was two more hellacious rounds. It was over. Yeah, for me. It was over. Not that I knew for sure, but I think I knew for sure because I know Marvin Hagler. And Tommy Hearns is a warrior too. He's the gunslinger. He's the gunslinger. But what happens with the gunslinger when he doesn't draw first and get the guy first? What happens? No, think about it. The great gunslinger, great. He's got the guts to stand there in the middle of the road, in the middle of that street. Go ahead, draw, bang! And he beat you to the draw. And he did. He beat him. The gunslinger, he did it. He did his thing. He beat him to the draw. But what happens when the great gunslinger beats you to the draw and the other guy gets hit? Bump! But he don't go down. The gunslinger got a problem. Because his thing is to beat you to the draw. To get rid of you right there. Right there in that dusty street. But right there in that bloody ring. In that dusty ring. This guy was still there. And he said, I'm not going to stand out here and gunsling with you. I'm going in there. I'm going in there. I'm not 10 paces back. I'm not 20 paces back. I'm right there. On top of you. Inside of you. by the end of the first round, that message got sent. Yeah, there was blood from Hagler. He was cut. It was everything, all that unbelievable round, but that message was sent. And Hearns received it. You know how he showed you received it? He came out boxing. That was a concession. Yeah, some people would say, but Teddy, that was being smart. He was being smart like he was against Sugar Ray Leonard. He was being smart. He was boxing. He was doing what he had to do. No, he was being forced to abandon his plan. He was being message received. He received a telegraph. Viva right hook and left hand from the southpaw Hagler. He received the telegraph. He received it. You can't fight this fight. You're going to either have to get out of here or you're going to have to go do something else. I do this. You don't do this. I do this. I own this. I'm the king of this. There's only one man who's going to win this kind of fight. He made Hearns make a concession. Basically say to him, in boxing verbiage, with no mouth, with no verbal coming out, words, with action. He made him say, you're right. I can't win that fight. You're right. And once he said, you're right, it was over. Because Hagler knew he was right anyway. And now he just got validation, confirmation. And he tracked him down. Hagler did what he does so well. What he does in that last John Wick movie. I'd love to put that up. The last John Wick movie, when the guy says to John Wick, go do what you do so well. And Wick said, what is that? And the guy said, hunt. Hunt. Oh, I love it.
And you, Jonathan, do what you do best.
What's that?
Hunt.
And that's what Hagler did. He did what he does so well. He hunts. And right at that moment, he was the hunter and Hearns was the prey. And again, the boxing fans might have thought there was still, no, it was over. By the end of the second round now, yeah, he was gallant, but he wasn't the hunter. There could only be one hunter and only one prey. And by the end of the second round, it was clear who was who. And by the third round, it was just a matter of the hunter finishing the job, of that lion taking down that great wildebeest, that great whatever animal it is, taking it down with the final lunge to the throat. Yeah, and bringing him down. Instead of a lunge with the jaws to the throat, it was a right hook. It was a right hook as the prey tried to get away. But there was nowhere. Like the great Joe Louis said, you could move, you could run, but you can't hide. There is no way to get away from the hunter. No, there isn't. Not when he's already gotten his prey in sights and he's gotten a taste of blood. And he's seen the trickles. He looks on the ground and he sees the trickles of blood. And he knows he's got him wounded. No, the prey doesn't escape then. Doesn't escape then. And he didn't escape then. The great hunter, the great Marvin Hagler, finished to the throat with that right hook that put Hearns down. He not only broke Hearns physically, he did, make no mistake about it, he broke Hearns mentally, spiritually. He took his hope away. He got inside of Hearns. He took his hope away. When you take the hope away from somebody, the will away from somebody, they're done. They might last another 2 rounds, but they're done. And he was done. God bless Marvelous Marvin Hagler. God bless both of them. They're two warriors. One of the greatest 3 rounds of all time. But man, I hope you guys bear with me and understand why I went and did it this way and why it was emotional to me and important to me, because that's how I feel about a man who's not with us anymore, but is with us. When I can talk about him in this kind of way, and we can talk about him in this kind of way, then Marvin Hagler is still here.
Legends never die. And that was perfectly said. I really appreciated those words, listening to it. I hope the viewers do as well. Just listening to you, I just want to ask and throw out one thing to you. This is just my take, but listening to you, it makes more sense now. Talking about the great hunter and the mental side and what Hearns was feeling and knowing what he was in there with. I always thought that when he was hurt in the 3rd round and he did his little pirouette and he was running away to escape, it almost felt like he just went straight into the propeller. It was easier to do it that way. But the way you broke it down and the way you described the hunter, there was nowhere to go anyway. That was going to be the inevitable outcome that evening.
No, and I'm glad you asked that follow-up, bud. His soul was taken already. And when your soul is taken already, you're done. You're gone. You truly are a ghost ship, just floating around with no harbor to go to. No harbor, no home to go to, until you get sunk the way he was sunk right there by Marvin Hagler. It's reminiscent of the Kung Fu movies where you see the guy, you see the great Bruce Lee, the great legendary Bruce Lee, those movies where, you know, he goes into the guy's chest, no! And he pulls the heart out. And the guy stands there for a little while. You know, he stands for a little while, might even take a step and a half. And then he falls. Because his soul, his heart, is no longer in his body. That's what Marvin Hagler did. That's what you saw. That's what Hagler did to Hearns. And that's what he did to a lot of fighters.
Yeah, great analogy, great breakdown, great tribute. And all the viewers out there, please let us know, comment. Was this the best first round in boxing history in your opinion? Was this the greatest 9 minutes? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it on the anniversary. Thank you for taking the time, bud.